that was so
Yes. Yeah.
difficult in the beginning, but now it's like, all right, I hope everybody's having an amazing day today. I am on with Miss Kat Tran. How are you, Kat?
I'm good. What's going on, David? What's going out there, Facebook world?
We're just
How are you today?
we are ready to have a conversation with you. So I always like to start off and just really find out, what are you most grateful for right now in this moment?
Honestly, and I'm not trying to kiss your butt. I'm just grateful that I could just be here with you and just discuss because you're such an inspiration, always making an impact. So it's just an honor to be here sitting with you. How about that?
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
Huh?
And then how does it feel to be a published author? Because here's what I got. Here's what I got in the mail
Mm-hmm.
not too long
Nice.
ago is your book,
Yeah.
right? The
Right.
in
Thank you very much.
in silence. Within her sound in silence. Where did you come up with the title? How did you come up with that?
Well, I know Simon Garfunkel reference, but for me, the sound and sense was the sound within my mind. For me, I was, even though I was a woman, I was grown up not to, almost much like not to express my feelings. I had to hold everything in, and even for me, I coach more males a lot because that seems, we're grown up taught not to cry and just be tough all the time, and that causes stress, that causes self-limiting belief, not releasing that stuff, and it man woman doesn't matter, right? But it's everywhere, and then so often, we as people, we're just victims of our emotions, thoughts, and our subconscious, and things that happened a long time ago that even we as adults we don't remember, or we don't acknowledge because in today's society we're taught to really not talk about things, right? But by not releasing these things, you hold yourself back, right?
Yes, because we hold it all inside and then it builds up. And
It builds up as,
can cause illness as well, right?
yeah, it's trapped emotions, that's stress, and the human mind doesn't recognize the difference between mental stress and physical stress. So that's a lot of the time, I'm not trying to be negative, but it's the fear and the stress that kills your body, not just your mind, but also your body. And people just don't seem to put that together, but that's the cause of a lot of dis-ease. It's getting a lack of ease of emotion.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
the tagline is a woman's shadowy tale through her darkness to light. Do you want to talk a little bit about your path?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Going through this, you wrote a lot of poetry. There's a lot of poetry in here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very enlightening, actually. And I will have to continuously go through it and look at and read the poetry and really digest the meaning, because it's not light reading, it's very deep reading. So
it's deep reading.
Yeah. Talk to us about that.
Well, I'm a little bit of a deep thinker, but even for me, my writing, it's really about, us as people just removing the fear, the shame, the guilt, the anger, the resentment we all have. We don't like to talk about it. Yes, it's my journey, I do enjoy to write, but even for the feedback that I've gotten, it's for the reader, is that it just made them kind of read it and kind of just take a look at themselves. Because we as people, we all go through things in life. We fall and we get ourselves back up. But it's a lot of us, sometimes we just get stuck down, right? Because we're stuck in our heads, of, oh, I'm a failure or whatnot, right? Because at the end of the day, we all want, and this is human need, to feel love, acceptance, and a sense of belonging. And often, because of fear of rejection or embarrassment, we hold ourselves back, but that is our own fear, because really nobody is looking. We're judging ourselves.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Now, you were born in Compton, California.
I was.
Or you grew up in Compton, California. Which was it?
I was a little hood girl. No, I was. Yeah, I was. I grew up. We were immigrant parents. I grew up. English wasn't even my first language, so it was a that's all you knew, right? It was a tough way to grow up, but maybe tough now. No bad memories. It's like everything kind of brought me here. But yeah, Compton, California, a little nutty.
No, I spent 2 years down there in Compton, California, Long Beach.
Did you?
Long Beach, Compton, and then downtown LA. So yeah,
Is that when you were training?
90 to 92. I spent
Is
2
that when
years
you
down
were training for a corporate?
No, I was actually down there working as a missionary. I was just working with people. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, we saw a lot of the poverty. We saw a lot of just home situations. It's just very different than what we're used to growing up, right? Just not the same. So you grew up in that environment, and then as part of the hero's two journeys, the first journey is you have to travel somewhere physically, but at the same time you are transforming internally as well, right? So talk to us a little bit about that transformation. Why did you move? Why did you remove yourself from Compton, and then what kind of transformation took place after that?
I know. But, honestly, it was, for me, I came from that environment. But you know what? I'm grateful. Like, hey, I went to school. I left the home at 17. I remember just telling my parents, I'm going to do everything on my own. So they had no say in anything I did. And I came from a rough household. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And, even for me, I worked really hard and I got successful very early in life. I had money and I had this and I had this. And you know what? I just didn't have. But then, when you was young, I didn't really know who I was. I didn't have a feeling of self-love, self-worth, because I was just people pleasing. So, I ran that thing where I was working 80, 90 hours a week, just churning and burning, trying to do this and, just make everything outside of me look nice. But I remember even being at 26, and I was like, what's going on? I have all money, I have everything. And it was like, I didn't have purpose. I didn't have a sense of purpose when I look back. I didn't know that at the time, right? But it was like, when I look back, that's really what it was. But long story short, 30 years old, dead. Girl is dead. I got into the basically the bad marriage, right? And it wasn't the other person. It was just, that was a reflection of, what I was going through, right? So it's, so even at 30, I remember I woke up. I wasn't trying to. I was just kind of numbing myself out because I was just like, I'm just miserable. We've all been there. Unhappy place. Come on, mine was just a little more tragic and, dramatic. But it was, I just was like, you know what? I have to go find myself and soul search. So even for me, I sold my house in California. I just left everything I knew at 30 years old. And that was 9 years ago, right? It was just letting go of the old belief, letting go of the old identity, letting go of the story, because that's what's going on. We all are living a narrative. If you don't feel that, you don't deserve love and you don't deserve this, guess what? That affects everything in your life. You living more purposely, throwing out your truth. It affects, how you do one thing is how you do everything in life. Right. So it's like, even for me, this was nothing stuff, I found myself and, I work with a lot of other people, but, we're human beings. Right. So it's like, it's a lot of people are just stuck in traumas and stuff like that, because really the subconscious mind is, from 0 to 7, Yeah. 0 to 7. And that's like 95% of your thinking. And we only use about 5% of our brain. So there's 3 parts of the brain. So a lot of us you're just fighting you. It's you versus you, Yeah. Right.
Right. Absolutely. You've got that voice in your head, and then you've got the other voice telling you to do something.
Yeah.
And there's that constant battle going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you want to, even for you always talk about 365 days of jump in line. It's not easy, not scary. Oh, it wasn't not easy for me to jump out here and just do my thing either.
Right.
But it's like you can't sit there and worry about it. You just gotta just do it and just push yourself each day to do it. And even for me, that was, the last how many years, it was like a lot of time and self-reflect and all that stuff. But it was a lot of letting go of a lot of blockage, I call it letting go of the shit that
right.
is in our head, right?
Got to let go of the mental blocks that are holding us back.
The mental blocks keep you back from relationships, career, finance, everything, you know, so you could find your self-worth and self-value, so you could go out there in the world and serve, right? And then realize,
yeah. So now you talked about that you realized that you just didn't have purpose, that you were doing all of this, and it was almost very selfish, just doing it to do it. And then you come out and you're like, well, wait a minute, I'm doing all this with no purpose. How did you find your purpose, number one? And then what did you end up, what is your purpose?
For me, you know, over the last 5-6 years, I was in pharmaceutical sales, and I was just back to that working, and you know, I did sales very well and all that stuff. And then it was like, and now I do the coaching thing too. But it was like, how am I of value to others? Right? It's purpose, right? And whatever we do, it doesn't have to be a huge grand scale or this. And you have to ask yourself, it's like, how am I contributing to society? You know, how am I of value in my workplace? And that's a lot of people, I find that's what they're searching for. Where's my place in this world? Right.
Where's my place?
You have to find your why. You have to find a reason to get up each day. And you know, it's not just to, we all love money, and we all have to say, and we all work, we all have to work, but you have to, on this, whatever you're doing, make sure, you know, outside of the 9 to 5 or whatever you're doing, that you're engaging in these acts that add to your value, right? It's like Jim Rohn stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you're working on yourself each and every day, right?
Yeah, that's right. Miss a meal, but never miss your 30 minutes of reading.
Miss your 30 minutes of reading, and make sure you're just adding to this, because you know what? You are your self-worth. That's your net worth. That's your net worth.
So how did you come across your purpose of helping people? Because I know you're a coach, right? You're not just a coach, but you really help people dig in and push all the crap out, allowing their true self to come through. So how do you do that? And how did you end up determining that was your purpose?
I don't, you know, it's funny. It was, you know, I was coaching for a while. I just went online for a year because I was working, you know, as a sales rep. It was kind of conflicting to be online, you know. Now I left that. It was hard for me to leave that, you know, but it was, how did I get there? I don't know, divine calling. If you honestly asked me, you know, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I would be here. I was like, oh, you're crazy. But it was just, you know, for me, I know as you know, my gift as a human being, right? I do come from a place of, you know, non-judgment, and I help people just open up and be really comfortable with themselves. You know, everybody has a gift. Everyone has a superpower. You know, that's happened to be mine with people. Just being very compassionate, listening, holding that safe space, and just people naturally just, you know, kind of, you make it easier for them. But you know, you speak to whoever you resonate with, right?
That's right.
You know, but
so how does it make you feel knowing that you're transforming people's lives in ways that they just could never do it on their own?
It's the most rewarding experience. It's not about me. It's about serving another person, you know, and just to know that you're a part of that. That's purpose, and that's everything, right? That's everything that even when I was sitting in a $1 million house, I just didn't ever have.
Right.
You know, and then that was what I was like, going to therapy and and I started drinking, and I started for years just often. I was like, I don't know what's going on, because I was just chasing just things, you know, these certain things. And don't get me wrong, it's great. But it's like, you know, we have to realize, you know, whatever we do, you know, don't be scared of wealth and all that. That's just but exchange of energy, right? Services and all that stuff. But you know, nothing wrong with that, right? But it's really, you know, whatever you're, you know, selling out there, right? It's your service, because it's solutions. You're providing someone with solutions, and if you really believe in it and you go after it with purpose driven, that's people driven to help, then you're unstoppable, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting that you bring that up, because so many people, their whole focus is the thing. Oh, I got to get the thing. I got to get the thing. I got to get the money. I got to get the house. I got to get the boat. I got to get the next thing. But if we focused on giving value and adding value and serving others and lifting others and fulfilling that need, then all that other stuff comes as a natural result. It's just putting
it comes as a natural result.
Yeah. Sometimes if we don't get the calling of the heart right, then a lot of times we can end up with the other stuff and be completely unfulfilled. But if we get the heart right, now we are completely fulfilled with what we do, and serving others, and everything else has a tendency to follow and flow after.
Exactly. And if you look around, Simon Sinek and all these, they're very heart-centered leaders. They're very successful people, but if you look at the people that have longevity and staying power in their careers, they're very heart-centered and heart-focused. But it started with them, really finding themselves and letting go, gaining their own self-belief to actually serve. Because if you want to serve others and give, you have to receive for yourself, right? Because it's like, no matter what happens in life, right? You could have all this stuff, but if you don't feel that you're worthy, and you don't deserve it, you know what? It's all going to go away.
So as a self-care coach, because that's what you are, you are the self-care coach.
The self-care.
Not just a self-care coach, you are the self-care coach, right?
The self-care coach, yeah.
So give us like three of your top things that people really need to do to take care of themselves, to really have that self-care and show themselves that they love themselves every day.
You know what? I know it's kind of general, but it's true. The gratitude thing, right? The morning mindset. And I know we all talk about nothing, but that's everything. Your morning mindset, not waking up and just honestly, focusing on your self-talk, right? Whatever you do. I'm not a big meditator. I'm a beach. I live on the beach, so I go walk on the beach. That's my meditation. But really getting your mind right first thing in the morning, because the human mind, being positive is not natural. It's not a natural thing. The human mind goes negative. Your brain is actually fear-based to protect you, naturally fear-based. So people go, oh, people watch motivation and they do this. It only lasts like 30 seconds, right?
Right.
You have to literally get your mindset right in the morning, whatever you need to listen to, instead of picking up the phone, because we're kind of mechanical into habits, right? Get into a new habit of listening to something inspirational or something instead of picking up looking at Facebook, checking emails. Immediately you see something, automatically you just go back into that habit. Nothing changes. Right.
That's right.
And also practicing. I say practice appreciation, not gratitude, because actually appreciation goes deeper in the subconscious. Practice that in the morning. Do a little 5 minutes, of your little visualization, appreciation, where you close your eyes and go think about, a couple things you really appreciate, not just go, oh, I'm thankful for, this bed and it's this, okay, I got to wake up today. No, really sit there, even they call, use your imagination. And, it's funny, Jim Rohn, I love him, but this is a lot of stuff that they do, right? It's just to elevate your mind, elevate your consciousness, right? And honestly, like each and every day, it's so important. People go, oh, move each day. And now it's not just for looks, because it's like, why do we move with the body? We're natural warriors, human man. And it's like by moving each day, you're actually strengthening your mind, because you're, the physical stress in the body is helping, your mind, you develop resiliency, right? Yep. So when it comes to, when things start freaking out, right? That this doesn't fall into such a depression and anxiety, and people don't realize that that's why, hey, even for you, I know you're very active to me too. Yeah, you do it to look good. No, I do it for this. I do it for this. So, for this.
Right. Because as we train the brain, right? As we train the brain every day to handle greater amounts of stress, to handle greater issues when they show up, things like that show up, we're able to handle it and deal with it and move on and not be overwhelmed by it, because we've been training our minds, right? And that's so important.
Because of everything, because the storm in life will always exist around you, but you have to control this. You have to practice the pause. Practice the pause and slow this down and not react to everything and just everything. I said, there you go. Practice the pause, slow down, be mindful of what you're doing each day. I just made a little video, fun video of this, but you know what? Stream living. Speak like you love yourself. Talk, rest, eat, act, and move. You know, these little things each day are acts of self-love, and they, you know, they strengthen the foundation of your life, because you are your net worth, you know, is your self-worth, right? And it controls everything you do. If you don't, you know, we all do it. We get busy. Oh, I'm going to run over here and take care of everything around me. And this is crumbling. You're not taking care of your mind, your body, your spirit each day. Guess what? You know, you're burning, you know, the candle at both ends. That's going to go out really fast. You know, so it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's just find some balance each and every day.